Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the top 6 common myths about metabolism. So we're going to try to debunk that. And so if you're interested, definitely stick around. Okay, so in this situation, there's a lot going on. So I wanted to leverage the AI to just give me some information so we can go over it together. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the top 6 things that I've found that would benefit you to understand that these are the myths that we want to debunk. Metabolism is something very, very important to each of us. So I want to understand, I want to make sure, all those negative or just confusing thoughts that you have about it, we want to debunk some of them. So let's go ahead and get started. And all right, number 1 is going to be metabolism is only affected by genetics. While genetics do play a role in metabolism, lifestyle factors such as diet and exercise also have a significant impact. So what does that mean, right? So they're saying that, some people just think, your metabolism is only affected by your genetics, meaning whoever your parents were, whatever genetics you have, whatever the phenotypes you have is just, that's what it is. That's set in stone, concrete. It's not. I talk about it in another video where your metabolism is actually tied in your genetic code to your phonetic code, your phonetic representation. Your genetic code is just the information, the manual of your cell, but then the phenotype is going to be the application of the information. So it's like me having the code to make an app is there, but if I don't run it, then I'm not gonna get the representation. So the app that you use, the Habless app that you download from Apple, you're getting the genetic code from Apple, and then Apple downloads that genetic code into your phone, and then when you press the icon, what you get is a phonetic representation of the app. So we're taking the genetic code, making it into a phenotype, and so even you have that. So your genetic code right now for your metabolism is a certain way. So if you have a high metabolism, right now you have a lot of genes that are upregulated, meaning it's active, it's on, and you have a lot of genes to store energy down, so it's downregulated. But a lot of us, I know for me personally, I don't know about you, more than likely you're in a situation where you had a lot of weight around you where you're like, okay, why am I storing so much energy? And that's because you had upregulation of the storage in your genetic code, which then had a physical representation, a phenotypic representation of you having a lot more mass around your body. Does that make sense? So I wanted to make sure you got that clearly. It's not relevant. It's more like whatever you're doing, your phenotypic representation will then eventually go backwards to your genotype. So if you want to go ahead and activate your metabolism, then do activities that activate your metabolism so you have an upregulation of your genetic code to actually make that happen. Cool. Number 2, you can boost your metabolism by eating small meals frequently. While eating small meals throughout the day can help keep blood sugar levels stable, it does not necessarily boost metabolism. So what is this saying? It's basically saying, the concept of eat small meals. And I'm going to be a victim of this. I actually talk about this in a few of the videos where if you do eat small meals, you can go ahead and increase your metabolism. But there was a caveat if you actually watch the video. The caveat is, what are you eating? If you're eating more carbs in those small meals and you're already storing carbs, you're never really using any fat, then it's not gonna do anything for you. It's gonna completely waste your time. So when you do eat small meals throughout the day, yes, you 100% can, but what are you eating? If you're eating, making sure it's a very low minimum amount of calories, carbs in general. If it's mostly protein, amazing, that'll be great for you. Fruits, not too much though, right? Because the fructose is similarly, it'll get stored as well. Unless, if you know you're gonna be active, right? So you know that you're gonna be walking outside or going somewhere, or doing something, by all means, eat whatever the hell you want. But if you know you're just going to be putting on Netflix or putting on YouTube or putting on whatever channel to watch and you're just going to be sedentary, then don't have these frequent meals. You don't need to have these frequent meals. It's all about your lifestyle. And that's what you're going to understand from every one of these videos that I do for you, is that the lifestyle that you have will determine every single aspect of it. And so I'm going to always start with that concept. And so then we'll trickle our way down into the really you. Okay, so number 3. It's going to be metabolism slows down as you age. While metabolism does naturally slow down with age, it can be slowed down even more by a lack of physical activity and muscle mass. That's exactly what I just said right before this, right? So it's always about your lifestyle. What are you doing? If you are doing nothing, no thing, then you are going to experience a moment like this that is not going to be a pleasant experience. So again, what does it say? It's basically saying the idea like, as you slow down, your metabolism slows down. But then that's like an auxiliary response. It's not the real response. So your metabolism slows down. Why? Because as you age, you do less activity, you do less movement. So your body's not moving as much. So the physical activity goes down. Then the requirements, your metabolic requirements go down. So your metabolism slows down. So it's not a one-to-one direct correlation. It's an indirect correlation based on other things that are happening. So if you're getting older, increase your physical activity, your metabolism won't go down. I mean, you see that, right? It makes sort of sense. Okay, next one. You can boost your metabolism by taking supplements or weight loss pills. There is no scientific evidence to support the claim that supplements or weight loss pills can significantly boost metabolism. Okay, yeah, 100%. That they have to do that, because if there is scientific evidence, then it would become a pharmaceutical. Just always remember that if there is scientific evidence behind it, it can theoretically be considered a pharmaceutical, and they're regulated differently. So there's a reason why we don't have that much scientific evidence, and there's also no incentive, and also costs a lot of money to get scientific evidence. So there is ways, right? So throughout history, man has done things over and over and over and over and over and over and over to the point where it was pretty consistent results every time you do it. So like, I know that if I tie my shoe a certain way, I can always tie my shoe a certain way. I know if I technically turn on my car a certain way, and if the car doesn't turn on, then I know something is wrong, right? That's when it clicks. There's certain action and then a response that needs to occur all the time. If that response is different from the action, then it's either something's off, or it just needs to be reworked to make sure that we get the same response. In the case of taking these supplements, which I talk a lot about in my other videos, yes, you can definitely take these supplements. Some of them will work for you, some of them won't work for you. But then again, it comes back down to your mindset. What is your understanding of using this? Do you just want to have a quick 5-pound loss and then go back to it? Do you want to actually have a sustained response through time where you actually keep that weight off? Or what is your purpose, right? Once we figure out the purpose, then we can figure out, okay, try the supplement. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, but then of course, 100%, if you just stick with your metabolism, your movement, and your mindset, you don't actually need the supplements. But if you did want a supplement just to, like, spice things up, 100%, definitely go ahead and give it a try. But just know that, again, it's not a surefire way. Surefire way is actually doing physical activity. So that's what it is. Okay, number 5, you can target specific areas of your body to boost metabolism. Spot reduction is not possible. Metabolism is an overall body process. You can target specific areas of your body to boost. Okay, so this is something that is going to be controversial, because I've been thinking deeply about this as I've been studying the human for the last decade and a half. It's been pretty profound understanding what the body can do. So if you, as it's saying that some people are saying, oh yeah, I want to just lose fat from the belly. Okay, let's use that as the most common one. And again, if you are confused by any of this, consult with your healthcare professional. Again, I'm just a guy on the internet telling you how to help you boost your metabolism and just overall general health. But let's now talk about your belly. Right? Your belly has fat there. Now, one thing you need to figure out is it fat, or is it actually like scar tissue from over time? That's one big key thing. So when people are at that last 2 pounds, I don't know if you've had that experience yet, but when you're at the last 2 pounds and you barely have any you're pulling on your skin in the belly, but it feels like there's thicker layer, but there's no fat there. And so that's when usually you can have a lot of scar tissue and fascia buildup, because if you gain weight, that weight has to be maintained by fascia. This is something most people don't talk about, but there's a fascial layer that's holding the fats in all the different areas within that area. So now when you lose that weight and you still have this jiggliness to it, and there's no fat there, it's just really flabby skin, it's because the fascia has been there for a while. Of course, right? Because the fat can just melt off easily. You just increase the heat, the fat will melt off, but the fascia is that structural layer that holds that fat, which can cause a problem. But let's just say, even getting to that point, that is not even a problem, right? We just did all this work to get rid of all the fat. So that's actually good news if we have that. So let's not think about that, but let's talk about the beginning aspects of it. So what did I say? So fat is normally these molecules, these oily, greasy, globules that you can go ahead and use as energy when you need to. But when you are trying to do reduction in that specific area, theoretically, yes, when you do activate your metabolism, it's activated everywhere. But if you focus and do some isolated exercises for that specific reason, that region is going to require more energy, more resources. So technically, yeah, you can speed up the metabolism in that area. What I mean by that is you will provide it more fuel faster. So if it's more damage, if there's more wars going there, like tearing of the muscles, or just increasing the heat, the thermogenic effect of that area, you can definitely do that. So definitely give that a try if you're interested. All right, lastly, only overweight people have slow metabolism. A person's weight does not determine their metabolism, but rather a combination of factors including muscle mass, hormone levels, and overall health. Okay, this goes back down to what we've been talking about, overweight people, right? So overweight people are individuals that have more weight than they need, right? So if they were to be 5'8", if they're like 200 pounds and there's no real muscle, just mostly fat, that would be considered overweight. Anytime you see any individual that has these extra baggage, pounds around their body, that's usually what overweight means. And what it's saying is that they think overweight people have slow metabolism. I mean, is there a doubt in this? Is there a doubt in they have a slow metabolism? If they're storing more, this is just a natural fractal. If I have a house and I bring in toilet paper, because apparently I'm hearing there's gonna be a storm coming, I buy a bunch of toilet paper, and then every day I keep buying more and more toilet paper. So am I not storing all that toilet paper? I'm not using it. So all the individuals that are overweight, the ones that are storing, they're not expending fuel fast enough, so they're storing. So yes, their metabolism will be slow, but of course guaranteed there's going to be other aspects of it as well, right? So as I say, a combination factor of muscle mass, which we just talked about. If they have really low muscle mass, they don't have a need for using energy. Fat just wants to be stored. Hormone levels, oh my God, 100%. There's so many bad things that can happen with high levels of steroids in your body, corticosteroids. It makes you gain so much weight, especially for men that have a lot of prolactin buildup in their brains, to be honest, based on their sort of lifestyle choices. And I'm sort of hinting at, I think you would figure out, like the whole no fat movement is because of that. Men have become a lot more, the testosterone levels have gotten so low. It's because they're depleting their life energy, and as a result they're also increasing levels of the fat hormones as well. So keep that in mind when you're actually thinking about this, because that might just be a profound thought that you just had right now. Maybe you never helped click that in your brain, but I have helped you. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And just, I really want you to pay mind to your lifestyle choices. Every single thing that you do, literally, like what I've done and I'm continuously doing, is I do an audit of every single thing that I do. And I have to take a step back and see, okay, do I need to relearn this, or is this a positive habit that I've been doing for time? And so it's constantly like an internal battle trying to figure that stuff out. But yeah, with that being said, guys, listen, we just talked about the 6 most common myths about metabolism, and hopefully that made sense to you. A lot of them were, there's a lot of gems in what I just said right now. So if you need to watch it again, rewatch it, watch it on 1.5 speed, whatever speed. I tend to like to watch myself at 1.5 speed because just 1 is just too slow for me. But hopefully you can tell me what you like. Hit me up in the comments. If you want to support me in what I'm doing, what I'm building, definitely subscribe to the channel and share it with those individuals that need to also learn about this as well. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.